My name is Vic King, and I run Strong Sites.
I'm Rache. I'm the founder of Squarestylist. I'm also the creator of the Standout Squarespace program.
My name is Amanda. We will be working one-on-one together in a really collaborative process, which is really fun.
You'll be working with me. No agency, no account managers, just you and me working together to build a site that works for your business.
Hello, entrepreneurs, designers, digital nomads, and business gurus. Welcome to Circle Live, our internet talk show just for Squarespace Circle partners. I'm Sam Z, your Senior Community Events Manager.
And I'm Sarah S., Senior Team Lead for the Circle Program Team. Last month, we talked with Fiona Humberstone, founder of the brand Stylist, about staying human, finding personal fulfillment in your business, and adding education as part of your workflow. You can watch that video on the Circle blog or our YouTube channel.
I feel more stylish every time I talk to Fiona.
Absolutely. I know my colors now, my season. Yeah, we're definitely more fashion forward on the show as a result.
Definitely stepping out into the world with more confidence. But today, we're taking a vacation from our usual interview style. Sarah, I've got a pitch for you.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So you know how Circle partners are always saying one of their biggest problems is finding new clients.
Yes, I have heard that.
And one of the hardest parts about finding new clients is pitching yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so just spitballing here, but what if we brought in 3 very different Circle partners to pitch their services to 3 very different companies in 3 very different ways for a special kind of episode of Circle Live?
That sounds like a great idea, and I'm going to go ahead and give that the green light.
I'm so glad because we already taped the videos.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
Today on Circle Live, we're going to hear pitches from Vic King, Amanda Jones McNay, and Rache DeLuna, 3 Circle partners with 3 distinct pitching styles. Stay with us to learn 3 different ways of representing yourself in front of new clients. It'll be a fun watch.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either. But first, we have an important update. Beacon AI, as you may know, has rolled out to all Circle partners, so you may have had a chance to play around with it already, but just in case you wanted an expert take, we brought in product manager Edmund Armstrong to demo some of its power. Today on Release Notes Live, we have something very exciting to show you. Beacon AI. Here to tell you more about it is Edmund Armstrong.
Hi, Circle. Beacon AI Chat is the new AI chatbot in Squarespace for building and managing sites with a simple prompt. With Beacon, you and your clients no longer have to search through the editor or search through the help center to find and use the features you're looking for. Instead, you can just ask Beacon what you're trying to do and get help directly in the platform. I think you and your clients are really going to love this feature.
It's so simple and robust, I can practically picture how it works in my head. But since I've got you, Edmund, why don't you give us a look?
Absolutely. So here I am in the typical Squarespace editor, but there's something new here. On the right-hand side of the screen, you see the chat panel with some pre-populated smart suggestions of how to use this, or I can, type anything I want. To get started, I'm going to start with just asking Beacon, how much traffic am I getting? And now what it's going to do is take a moment to think and actually check my analytics data to see how my site is performing. All right, and here it is, a quick summary. Here's your traffic over the last 7 days. I see most of it's coming from direct. I can also see that visually over the 7 days and drill in to see which day I'm getting the most traffic. So now it feels quite actionable. And the next example I want to show is it doesn't just summarize how your site's doing or things on your site. It can also take actions for you. So I'm going to click on this smart suggestion, create a new product, and see if it can help me actually add something to my online store. So for this example, I'm selling apparel. So let's ask Beacon, add a hat product to my store. We're going to price it at $30, and let's say it's good for hiking. Now, it's going to take a second to pull up my online store, find all of the relevant details that it needs to populate, and then actually add that for me. And then from there, I'm able to review it, add any finishing touches, and then publish it. So here it says the hiking hat, $30, has been added to your store. Next steps, add a product and publish the listing. And I can click on this and it opens directly in the editor so that I can quickly put in those finishing touches. Now for this example, let's say I really want to do something on Squarespace or within my site that I don't know how to do that. Instead of going through the Help Center, I can just ask Beacon, how do I edit my mobile homepage? And now Beacon, which is trained on all of the Squarespace Help Center, is able to give me very specific step-by-step instructions on what to do. So here it shows me, go to the Pages panel, open your home page, click Edit, toggle to the mobile preview. So I can click on Pages, click Edit, toggle to the mobile view. And I can then proceed with the editing that I was trying to do with Beacon by my side.
This is so amazing, Edmund, and I want that hat just so that I can tip it off to you for all your work on Beacon AI. Thank you so much for showing this to us. Maybe Beacon AI will help me with my hat jokes.
Yeah, we can think about adding that feature, Sam. In the meantime, Beacon AI Chat is available now for Circle partners via Circle Labs, and we'll be rolling it out to more site owners over the coming weeks. Now is a great opportunity to let you and your clients know how they'll be able to use Beacon for building and managing their sites. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see what you and your clients do with this feature.
More product updates, check out the Circle blog and watch out for those Circle release notes emails. Now, time to throw out the first pitch. Good, right?
Good.
With each of these videos, we presented the Circle partner with a fake business and a challenge that the business was facing that they needed to solve with a website. So the first pitch was a kids camp named Camp Benny, and we asked Amanda Jones McNay to craft a pitch for a website that could help them gather donations for their scholarship program. One thing to watch for in this pitch is how Amanda finds a personal connection to the mission of the camp. Amanda, you're up.
Hello, Camp Benny. I'm so excited to talk to you today about your new website and hopefully working together. My name is Amanda. You probably already know that, but I'm going to jump into a quick little visual so we can all walk through what you can expect if we do decide to work together on the site. First, I'll get into some introductions, talk a little bit about myself, get into the vision I have for your website, and then also how I'm going to solve those pain points when it comes to donations and some other things. Why Squarespace? I build all websites on a platform called Squarespace. So we'll talk about why that's a plus, and then also a little bit about how the process will go. So first, again, I'm Amanda. You probably knew that already. And then this is Nova. She is my sidekick and junior designer. No, it is me designing your site. We will be working one-on-one together in a really collaborative process, which is really fun. I've been designing websites for 10 years. I have over 200 launches on Squarespace specifically, and I absolutely love what I do. I live in Atlanta, but I work with clients all over the world, so time zones are no issue, and I'm always here for you. Fun fact, actually, I was an art teacher after college, and during those summers, I was an art camp instructor. So Camp Benny really hits home for me and is really right up my alley, so I'm really excited about it. Okay, so what hit me really hard when I was reading through everything you told me about Camp Benny was the whole idea of process art. I love the idea that kids are able to just experience the process and not be stressed about this final end result. Depending on what's going on in these kids' lives, they really need an outlet, they need the creativity. And I think just encouraging them to experience the process is so cool. So what came to mind for me is creating a website that feels like a process. Now, it's not going to be chaotic by any means, but I want it to feel like you're creating something as you scroll through the site. At first, I want to start with a story. What is Camp Benny about? What is your mission? We'll do this in a way that's really digestible. So Google likes words. Humans don't love a lot of words. So I always find that happy medium where Google loves what's on the page, but humans can digest what's happening and read some impactful statements. Speaking of, I love bringing in really big stats, like how many kids have been to camp, how many scholarships we've offered. I think that's just so cool and something that could really touch people. So I love bringing that in with animations. And again, just making this feel like a really cool process as you're scrolling down the site. One thing I thought would be amazing to include kind of in the middle here are testimonials from campers. I think whether it's a camper or parent considering coming, whether it is a possible camp instructor that might apply or whether it's our donors, we want them to see that Camp Benny is really impactful for the kids. So having those testimonials that show this amazing experience and how it changed their life, I think is really important here, kind of in the middle of this flow. Next, I want to make sure that any potential camp instructor can apply super easily. We don't want them searching everywhere. We want these amazing instructors, so let's make that easy for them. And then that leads us to our final CTA, that call to action, which is donations. So I know it's really important to keep these scholarships going, and we want to make it easy for people to donate. People can be have short attention spans, I guess. And so we want to make sure everything is so obvious and just right there for them. So that big obvious donation area will be there at the bottom of the page. But I also want to note it's really important. So in the header of your website, that's where your logo and navigation is. I will have a button that says donate, and that header will follow people as they scroll. So that donate option will always be readily available. How will we accept donations? Up until this point, I know you may have been collecting checks and keeping up with this mail and receipts and everything. So we're hoping to just get rid of that and simplify your life so people can donate easier and you guys can keep track of it all easier. So donations will now be completely online through Squarespace payments. So again, that platform where I'll build your site, that's Squarespace, and they have a built-in payment processor. It's incredibly secure. People can pay with credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay. It just makes it really easy for anyone to give you a donation. There's a few ways that I'll set this up. So first, we can have some quick kind of click suggested payments. So $25 donation, $50, just something people can click easily, not think. They can also fill in their own amount. I have this idea of impact-based donations. So maybe with $25, it says this covers one camper's clay for a week. Maybe with the $50, it says this covers the entire camp's paint for a week. So people really connect with knowing where their money's going and what it's doing and feeling like they have a tangible impact. So I want to make sure that comes through. We can also do recurring donations. So cash flow is something that's really important, and I know something that can be a little bit unsteady. So setting those recurring donations so that people can just set it and forget it. You guys know it's coming in. That's something that we can do here as well. Everyone will get an automated thank you email when they donate, and more importantly, they'll get an automated receipt. So you're no longer having to send any tax deductible receipts manually. That all just comes straight to their emails. So it's just all completely automated. So quickly, why Squarespace? Again, this platform is something I've been working on this platform for 10 years. It's incredible user-friendly, but still very customizable. I have built my whole 10-year career on, I'm calling it kind of Ben the Builder. So the builder is already amazing, but I have all of these techniques to create almost anything that you ask for design-wise. But at the same time, you can always feel comfortable on the back end of the site. You're not going to feel completely lost. Within Squarespace, they host both your website, your domain, but also all of the security is right there built in, and payments are all processed through the site. So you're not looking for 4 different logins. This is something I hear from clients all the time. They're like, oh my God, I don't even know where my website's hosted or where my domain's hosted. It will all be in one place. You have one login and that is it, which is great. On platforms like WordPress, you typically pay quite a bit extra for security to make sure your site's locked down. That is included with Squarespace. And also your domain will just auto renew, just nothing to worry about. Lastly, I'm a Squarespace Circle member. And basically what that means is I've designed a ton of websites on Squarespace. So it gives us some extra perks like discounts for your first year of website hosting if you pay annually, access to the newest features before other people get them. We also get really, really good customer service. So if there's ever an issue, we get quick help. And then if we decide to work together, here's a bit about how the process will go. First of all, you're working with a human, me. So I believe AI can help us in ways like efficiency and wordsmithing things. And there are absolutely applications for AI, but I want to make it clear that I still find a lot of importance in the human touch with art and design. I will be the one physically designing your site. It will not be AI or a robot. It's okay if people do that, but for this situation, I think it's so important that we do this in a human way. If we decide to move forward, we'll do an intake call. So on that call, I will ask you a bunch of questions about your brand, your vision for the site, likes and dislikes. If you have some sites that you know you like, maybe some inspiration, feel free to bring those to the call. If not, totally fine. You don't need to prepare anything. I'll come with plenty of questions. After that call, I will start on the homepage. So homepage always comes first. I always say there's no point in designing an entire website for you guys to be like, I don't know if this is really the direction we want to go. So homepage comes first. It not only gives you guys a visual of where we're going, having something tangible really helps start the process, but also we can collaborate on the design itself and make sure we're in a good place before moving too far. Speaking of the process itself, it is always collaborative. This is not some like big agency experience. You're working with me personally. I am personally designing your site. So I'm never going to hand you something and say, hope you like it, be on your way. I will listen to what you have to say. You are absolutely part of this. I won't ask you to like hop in and design, but you can absolutely give feedback and I will always listen. Lastly, something my clients really, really like is this digital autonomy training. So at the end of the process, I'll of course help you with connecting your domain or buying your domain, as well as getting your site launched. But once that's all done, I want you to feel autonomous. I don't want you to feel lost. Like, now what? How do I even access my site? So I get you access to the back end of the site and I create a screencast video showing you how to make basic edits, like make text changes, change a photo, maybe add a blog if that's something you do, so that you don't feel completely stuck without me. I'm always here to help. I'm never going anywhere. We can do ongoing website maintenance as well if that's something you need, but I just want you to feel like you have a little bit of control over the site as well. So I'm a big believer that everyone deserves access to art. This is something I'm really passionate about. I grew up with this craft drawer and I was allowed to bring string and glitter and glue, and I never knew what I was making. It was completely about the process of spending time with my siblings and my family and just having a creative outlet. And so this is something I really believe in, and I want to bring more campers to Benny. Thank you so much for your attention. As I said, I'm Amanda McNay. I am the owner of AJM Design Studio. You can go to ajmdesignstudio.com to review my portfolio, just see anything that I've done in the past, reach out for any questions you have. After this call, I'm going to send you a proposal, and I'll also send this deck along so you can remember what we discussed. I'm so excited to hopefully work together, and I'm always here if you have questions.
What a great pitch. So personal and so formal at the same time. I thought a lot of great stuff to dive in here.
So comprehensive.
So comprehensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love like she ends it with I'm going to come up with a more detailed proposal. I'm going to come up with all this other stuff. It's like, you know what you're getting, you know what you're getting into. And to find out more about it as well, we have Amanda joining us live now to talk more about this pitch. Amanda,
Hello.
welcome to Circle Live.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
What a great pitch. We just want to dig a little bit more into it with you. This fictional company, Camp Benny, first time hearing about it, our first time hearing about it too. One of the first things that I wanted to talk to you about was you made a point at the end to say you're going to be working with me. I'm a real person. I'm never going to hand it off to somebody. Is that based on bad experiences that some of your clients have had, that they've handed it off to somebody else and that they've disappeared throughout the process?
Oh my gosh. I would say almost every client that comes to me has been burned by a designer. A lot of times this happens with WordPress sites, no offense, but we're Squarespacers over here. And it's a lot of, I don't even know how to get on the back end. If I did, I would mess things up. My developer told me not to touch anything. I emailed my developer 2 weeks ago and I haven't heard back. So this is something I solved pretty early in my Squarespace career. I was like, okay, we don't need to do this. Squarespace is user friendly. We have Loom. We have these tools to teach them and make them feel autonomous. So yeah, I just didn't want people to feel stuck. I think that's crazy. Like, you should have access to the things that you've paid for your business.
That makes total sense. And I feel like your personal investment in them, in the business, was so clear throughout the whole pitch. I'm curious, given how really robust it was, talking about the benefits of the platform, the benefits of working with you, the benefits of why we choose Squarespace. I'm curious, are there any common questions that you used to get that you just baked into how you make the opening pitch now?
Yeah, totally. The questions I get the most are, what is Squarespace? Why are we choosing this? A lot of people haven't heard of it, although we are huge, of course, but if you're not in this world, people just don't know what they're getting into. So I do get that question a lot, which is why I've started baking it in. It's, just telling people it's way more accessible, it's easier to use, everything's all in one place, so you're not paying all these extra security fees and losing your domain and losing your hosting and all these things. So people really like that. once I describe just the basics I said in that pitch, I never really get pushback. People are like, cool, sounds good. Otherwise, I get asked a lot about the process. So I find that either people have never done this before. I work with a lot of new entrepreneurs, or people haven't done their site in years. Maybe it was WordPress, the process was different. People worked with an agency who just like had no collaboration or whatever that might be, right? So I think the way I work with people is different. So I do get a lot of questions about how the process goes. So I started baking that into, right? Start with the homepage, make sure we kind of get the vibe of what you're looking for. Then we move forward. It's collaborative. I'm not just handing you something and say good luck. So yeah, just kind of clarifying those questions up front because I've gotten them so much.
Such a great package of ideas that you provided. You actually were solving so many problems more than just the initial problem that we gave you. You're talking about how Google likes words, but people don't like a lot of words. You kind of have to balance that or whatever. There was a lot of talk in the chat about impact-based donations. Tell us, is that an idea that you came up with? Is that based on another idea that you used to solve a donation problem for another client?
Great question. That one came to me as I was kind of thinking of how to make this impactful, because obviously solving the problem of getting donations easily is already great. But I think people want to donate more when they can see where that money is going, because it's always very ambiguous, right? I'm donating, but like, what is this doing anything? I was on the advisory council of a dog shelter here in Atlanta for years. It's where I adopted my Doberman that you saw. And I just remember they ask for things specifically, like we need this because we're running out of food, or we need, that type of thing. And I find that actually gets more donations because people know, oh my God, okay, the dogs need food. And so I kind of just, that popped back in my mind from my experience. And I think that's where it came from.
Using every bit of your experience, putting into this deck. Love that. We do have one question that actually came through the chat, which I'll give some time to. Litpath Co was asking, what do you send them with the pitch video deck? I mean, on the one hand, I think the way that we talked to you about this was treat it as if you're giving a live pitch. So like maybe sometimes you're doing this on a Zoom live with somebody, you're actually in their office. But if you're sending them materials after the pitch, you mentioned this a little bit, but what are you sending with them? Is there maybe a little extra that you're sending with them as well, just to get them thinking?
For sure. So I will say I'm usually pitching actually, on a call. So it is a cool option to be able to record like I did and maybe send across a Loom video. I would say most of the time the client is asking questions and we're doing more of a back and forth. However, yeah, after the call, I always send across the deck that I've shown. It's a lot of information, as you saw. Y'all might have hopefully didn't get bored during it, but there is a lot of information about who I am, the process, what I'm thinking, Squarespace, etc. So I send that so they can reference it. I always send across my proposal in the same email. So that'll be, of course, pricing, what's included. So I break this down by, page count, because at this point we have talked about what they need on their site, any special functionality, whether it's e-commerce or plugins or whatever. So I include all that in the proposal, how many rounds of edits we're doing, the fact that, mobile optimizations included, just so they have a full picture, because this is probably new to them. In the proposal, I always make sure to include Squarespace hosting. I know some designers do this differently. I let my clients pay for that themselves. I help them get it set up, but I include what that price looks like, so it's not a surprise at the end. And then I have like a final page that shows payments. So I personally collect half up front, half at the end. I have a page that shows maintenance options. So, I call it beyond launch, and, here are options for beyond launch, etc. So I give them kind of those follow-ups. And I think that's about it. Sometimes they'll ask me for, they can go to my website and see my portfolio, but people do want to see live sites sometimes. So I'll send across like maybe some links and stuff like that too. So it depends on the client, what they've asked for.
Well, Amanda, we have some great news for you.
You're hired.
Your next I know, isn't that exciting? You should be so excited. Your next step now is to build the site. And audience, a little surprise for you, if you want to watch Amanda's process of building the Camp Benny site, you can sign up to join the Circle Day live stream at the link that we're sharing in the chat right now. She's going to build it, share it on Circle Day. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Good luck with your site build, Amanda.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
Thanks for joining us today on Circle Live. All right. Such a strong start.
Such a strong start.
But now we've got some strong sites.
Oh,
I hear.
that was really good.
Let's look at this next pitch. It just make sense. Coming from Vic King of Strong Sites. You might have heard of him. We gave, for his pitch, Vic a fictional skydiving company, the Air Skydiving Club, whose problem was that they had a large online following, but no way to sell merch on their site. One thing that I think you should watch for in this pitch is how Vic weaves his past problem-solving experiences into the narrative of his pitch. Vic, let's dive in.
Ahoy, my name is Vic King and I run Strong Sites. I'm a web designer and digital strategist out of Lakeland, Florida. And if we work together on this project, you'll be working with me. No agency, no account managers, just you and me working together to build a site that works for your business. So let's talk about that business. Let's talk about Air Skydiving Club. I am excited for the chance to work with y'all. Two of my brothers are in aviation, and the second biggest air show in the country is right in my backyard every April. So this stuff has a place close to my heart. But I want to talk about the guy who will never jump out of a plane. So here's the thing about ASC. Y'all have built a beautiful community. It really seems like the hangar has become a second home for the people who are club members, and the tourists who come through and train with y'all and jump can't stop talking about it, can't stop posting about it. And as a result, you've built something else that most businesses would kill for, which is a global social media following. You have over 200K on Instagram alone. And I'm willing to bet that most of the folks following you will probably never jump. Most of them aren't local, right? They're all over the world, and they're fans. You know, it's the guy in Ohio who's watching a club member step out of a plane over a volcanic crater in Oahu, right? That guy in Ohio will probably never jump, but he'd buy a hoodie in a heartbeat. And right now he can't. ASC's website has no store, it has no e-commerce, and all that reach, right? With nowhere to land. Every view, every share, every woe in the comments, that's where I can help. So I would love to work with y'all to build an e-commerce store that's seamlessly integrated with your website and your socials. We can connect the awesome content you're already making into a storefront that people can actually buy from. I'll just show you an example of the kind of thing I'm imagining. And this is very rough prototype, right? But imagine you land on your webpage and there's a guy skydiving with them all the way down to the t-shirt, right? Right there and ready for checkout. It really can be that easy. I've helped this happen before. So last year I built a site for a donut shop that has multiple locations on the East Coast. Same shape of problem. They have great socials. People love donuts, right? Tourists everywhere in the summer, but they were only selling merch in person. And I built them an e-commerce wing of their website. And within the first month that it was live, the merch sales alone more than paid for the cost of the build. That's what we're talking about here. I mean, ASC has the same setup, just even bigger, right? The audience, your audience outnumbers your local market by miles. Your content is scroll stopping. People love it. People can't get enough of it, right? Give them a store and that audience you've already built will start paying you back. Give them the merch they want and you can start getting paid by people who will never step into the hangar, but who are sort of distance members, if you will, of the skydiving club. So ASC has essentially the same setup, just bigger, right? You've got a following that outnumbers your local market by miles. You've got content that is truly scroll stopping, and yet you've got no way to sell to the people who are watching. Give them a store, give the people what they want, right? And that audience that you've already built will start paying you back. Again, I'm Vic King from Strong Sites. Thanks so much for inviting me to pitch to you. I look forward to working with you. Reach out to me and we can continue the conversation via email with any questions you may have. Look forward to hearing from you.
Such a strong pitch from Strong Sites. Really loved how he made me feel good as the self-appointed CEO of the Air Skydiving Club, a person who has never jumped out of a plane. But to talk more about this pitch, we got Vic here. Vic King, what's on? We got your hat. Ahoy! Ahoy!
This is on for at least the start of our conversation by special request from Christy Price, who's in the chat.
I think we actually talked about this initially when we were booking you for the show. I almost put it into your contract that you needed to wear that hat. It feels like you should have that in your rider, that wherever you are, you can wear that hat. It is a fantastic hat.
I love it. It would be like the brown M&Ms or whatever that famous rider was from the rock band in the 70s.
Yeah. So let's talk about this pitch. The first thing I want to know is Ahoy branded? Is that how you start all of your pitches? Is that just something you went with for this?
I don't know. I started doing it a long time ago. I'm not a sailor. I grew up on boats on the Chesapeake Bay, but I just kind of ran with it. Yeah.
Great. Oh, it's a great way to make yourself known and instantly endear yourself to whoever you're pitching to. This pitch was so succinct. I really liked how you just got straight down to the storytelling. I felt like one real strength is that it felt like you came in with a familiarity with this fake business. You started calling it by its initials ASC, as if you had been a member for years. Is that a strategy, or you just sort of are like always feeling buddy with the people that you're pitching to?
I don't know. Try to be human with humans, even if they're imaginary humans.
Totally.
Vic, as Sam said, the storytelling was so strong. I love how you sort of positioned the social media audience as like a really ripe opportunity that could be translated into converting people who might not actually come and purchase the skydiving lesson.
The guy in Ohio.
Yeah, the guy in Ohio. Yeah. I'm curious how your pitches are different when you're pitching someone a brand new site versus you're pitching them an upsell or an iteration on their current site.
I mean, it all depends on where they're starting from, right? So those are two very different types of pitches. And if it's a brand new business, often the first thing I tell them is the first thing you need actually isn't a website. It's like a Google business listing, and you need to start collecting reviews yesterday, and some of those like quick free wins, before they drop thousands of dollars with me or whomever. But this was an easy pitch because, I mean, like I described in the video, like I did this exact same thing with a business last year, where this uses a real donut shop, Sandy Pony Donuts. You can look them up. They're a really fun company, and I'd known the owners for a while, and their website was hot trash, and they knew it, but they were so busy. It was just like that when you have that seasonal business that's like you avoid it when it's closed, and then you go crazy when it's on, and they never had time. And then last year they came to me and were like, we're going to be in an Apple TV show. Like, we need a new website. We need to be able to sell merch. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And we had a lot of fun with that. And they really did like pay back their investment in the first month. It was a huge opportunity sitting right under their noses. They'd already built this successful business, but they hadn't built out this wing of it. And so that's a fun thing to do, is to come into a business that's like already rolling, already got momentum, and help the owners or whoever I'm working with take a fresh look at it and see if there's revenue opportunities they're missing and that type of thing.
That's great. How long did it take you to get that skydiving jumper in the demo?
Well, what I had to do, because we were working from an existing Squarespace template, like a starter template, but I had to recreate like the different sections, and to make them slide down through all the sections, it's got to be one long continuous super section. So I had to recreate some of the sections that were in the starter template just in a long single super section. And after that, it was as simple as cutting out the skydiver and pinning him and just so yeah. That was like a beta of something I plan to do and have fun with if I get hired.
I know we don't know. The sorting hat will tell us. Do you, I mean, with that demo, is that something that's pretty regular for you, that you're like, I'm going to just throw something together really quickly? Because that wasn't a requirement of the pitch. We just asked you to pitch, but like throwing together a demo, is that something that you usually try to do, or is that new?
That was new for me on this. Yeah. I don't normally do that because I don't like to do a lot of prospect unpaid work if I don't have to. But since we kind of knew from our conversation sort of which direction this would be going, I was like, this would be fun to do.
You pretty much knew you had this one in the hat. So speaking of which, Vic, we have some really great news for you.
You're hired.
Hey!
Yeah, we'll have to amp up the energy on the next one.
Yeah.
That was mostly my problem. This is great. We're excited. We're so thrilled to see the work that you've done. We knew that this was going to be great. And folks, if you want to see Vic designing this website live, again, you will have to sign up for the Circle Day live stream.
Do it.
Jump on
It'll
it.
be fun.
Jump on it. Get that hat out. And I'm mixing puns right now, but you better wear your hat while you're designing this website the entire time.
I will, although the spec looked like I'm supposed to have my camera off. So
That doesn't matter. The hat gives you special powers. Obviously.
Yes, it is. It gives me extra aura.
Absolutely.
Whatever that is.
Vic, thanks for your awesome pitch, and thanks for chatting with us today on Circle Life.
Thanks for having me, and I'll hang around in the chat, everyone, if y'all have any questions.
Awesome.
Right on.
Thanks, Vic.
Gosh, I love hiring all these people.
I know. I'm so glad our business is doing so well that we can hire so many designers.
Our multiple skydiving / kids art camp conglomerate. Well, speaking of which, our final pitch is upon us, and no surprise, it's a good one. It came from Rache, the Square stylist, and I'm just going to call her the Queen of Custom Code. I don't know, that feels fitting. We asked her to pitch us a website for a wellness retreat that was having trouble attracting the right kind of customer to their website, which would create endless headaches for the resort's admin team. But in this pitch, watch how Rache uses her skill set to go above and beyond. Rache, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Allow me to start by introducing you to Marina. She's 42, VP of Product in San Francisco. She's been working for 3 years at maximum capacity. It is currently 11 p.m. and she types one phrase into her phone. Digital Detox Retreat, California. Marina is exactly who Aurora Wellness is for. Aurora Wellness is an eco-luxury sanctuary situated on the Big Sur coast, catering to 15 guests at a time. It is where you completely surrender all your gadgets and let the Pacific reset you. I'm Rache. I'm the founder of Squarestylist. I'm also the creator of the Standout Squarespace program, and I am here to walk you through how a Squarespace site brings Marina and Aurora together. This website welcomes the right guest, answers before she asks, and hands a 2-person Aurora team back their week. Upon looking into Aurora's operations, I noticed that the team wakes up to a full inbox every morning, but almost none of it is Marina. Their current web presence draws casual tourists, expecting just a spa hotel with a nice view. The team spends time answering the same set of questions 25 hours per week. That's roughly $36,000 per year spent explaining the same phone policy, answering the same set of questions to people who were never going to book. Meanwhile, our ideal guest is ready to invest time, money, and energy for a deep, transformative rest. But she needs all the details before signing up. Marina is discerning and willing to learn before committing. And that's why, when building this website, I looked into both business goals and user goals and looked into where they overlap. And that's how I shaped the website strategy. One thing is clear, in this website, we want to welcome the right guest. And a Squarespace website will have 3 roles. First is to prepare Marina, such that she understands the experience before she ever writes to the team. Second is that the Squarespace site allows Marina to reserve without friction, such that she can book her stay and treatments without back and forth emails. Third, the Squarespace website allows us to attract other high-achieving urban professionals who are ready to invest in Pacific Reset. Allow me to make this more tangible by sharing key features. First, to help us prepare our ideal guest, our main key feature is a page called A Day at Aurora. It is a richly detailed and honest hour-by-hour walkthrough from pre-dawn ocean meditation to evening tides, conveying both the challenge and the reward in this experience in the same breath. This page is meant to set expectations such that those who are not willing to wake up really early or not comfortable in cold plunges will gracefully exit. However, those who are up for the challenge and looking forward to the transformation will just be more excited. The second main feature of this website to prepare our guest is a comprehensive FAQ. This is an extensive, well-organized FAQ covering 6 categories, proactively addressing repetitive questions that create administrative burden while providing complete transparency to potential guests. These categories include what to expect before arrival, digital detox protocols, what to pack, pricing and booking, what to expect during your stay, and emergency protocols. The next key feature to prepare a guest is a self-qualification section at the top of the booking page. The section is called Are You Ready for Aurora? These are 5 statements the guest confirms are true before she even books. It'll look like this. And the key is for us to make sure that she read the FAQ and she feels excited, informed, and prepared before clicking the Begin Your Booking button. This leads us to the second role of our Squarespace site, which is to help Marina reserve without friction. And this is possible using Acuity. Acuity allows us to support 2-tier booking, such that we can support standard retreat stays with the 15 guest capacity built in, and on top of that, we're able to be transparent that premium sessions such as private hydrotherapy and one-on-one meditation coaching are add-ons that they need to book 48 hours in advance. Also, we can collect payment. More so, we're able to gather health, allergy information, and preparation details through the Acuity's intake form. And we're able to configure automated confirmation emails such that after our ideal guest books, she remains excited because our emails includes pre-arrival preparation as well as other protocols. More so, if she enjoys her experience, then she'll be able to gift the Aurora experience through our gift certificates, also natively supported by Acuity. And because we have limited slots per season, we're not able to accommodate all guests. But we need to keep them warm and interested. We accomplish that using Squarespace email campaigns. Our Squarespace website features a newsletter block, which allows our interested guests to join the waitlist. This way, we're able to nurture them with follow-up emails, and they'll be the first ones to learn once the next season of Aurora opens. The next role of a Squarespace website is to attract the right searchers. As I mentioned, Marina is a discerning guest, so she might not be ready to book instantly, but she might look for informational content around the therapy sessions and the marine healing elements like thalassotherapy. What we want is for these searches to lead to the discovery of our Aurora Wellness website. We're able to accomplish that by using the built-in blog feature of Squarespace. If we are able to directly answer their questions, our Squarespace website will surface in conversations with AI tools such as ChatGPT and Perplexity. I looked into the keyword data as of July 2026, and we have a massive opportunity to rank for these keywords, and the volume is quite promising. That's why creating educational content around seaweed wrap, thalassotherapy will not only allow us to be discovered by more discerning ideal guests, we're also able to build their confidence in the sanctuary's unique approach. This last feature is meant to surprise and delight you as well as our visitors and users. This is called Breathe with Pacific. With a bit of custom code, we're able to create this interactive feature that allows our users to click the button and they'll be guided through this breathing exercise that will remind them of their experience in Aurora's calm and peace. We are able to pull live tide data from the Big Sur coast. Remember Marina at 11 p.m. Now that Aurora Wellness has a Squarespace website, Marina finds Aurora Wellness at the top of search results. She reads an honest hour-by-hour walkthrough of what to experience. She goes through all FAQs and reserves a slot plus a premium one-on-one meditation session. And the Aurora team wake up to a booking and a clear inbox. Indeed, with the Squarespace website, the Aurora experience begins before arrival. It's calm, clear, and cared for. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, I'm just a message away.
So
Wow.
beautiful.
I think Marina's going to get exactly what she wants.
I think so too.
I care
Even
so much.
before she shows up to the retreat.
Before I know, she has no idea how awesome this is going to be. And to talk more about Marina, if we have any questions or about the website pitch, we are happy to welcome back Rache DeLuna to Circle Live. Rache, welcome back.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here again.
What a great pitch. It makes perfect sense that you would want to make a potential client of a wellness retreat feel relaxed through the process of pitching. Running a wellness retreat does feel kind of stressful. There's a lot to think about.
I imagine on the back end.
On the back end,
There's
yeah,
a lot of
for sure.
details. Yeah.
But you did everything in your power possible to make it easy and to make it a relaxing experience as much as it seems. It seems like you really spent a lot of time thinking about that. The first thing that I want to ask you about is the persona of Marina. How did you come up with Marina? What kind of research were you doing? I love that you jumped right into it. Is that something that you usually do? Just come up with a persona in the beginning?
Oh yes. All right. I'm coming from experience with like pitching to enterprise clients live in their board meetings. So I do come prepared, like thinking about what their problems are and who are we serving. And I like having a persona in mind. But I'd like to clarify that I don't usually pitch for free. So they would typically pay me to create this decks or pitches. So I call that in my process like being paid to pitch. So that's why I do some necessary research and I do make sure that I come up with tangible features that connects that will help them achieve both their user goals and business goals. And that's why it's more technical in terms of like walking them through the features that I'm envisioning them to have on their website.
I imagine that getting paid to pitch isn't something that was always the case. Was there a turning point in maybe your client volume or otherwise where you were like, I need to be more discerning about the kinds of clients that I'm going to take on and shift your pitching model?
Yes, definitely. In my process, especially because I also serve clients all over the world, I do have a discovery call. And sometimes in that discovery call, it comes up that they will have a very complex requirement. And that's why I would need more time to look into like their current platform, whether I need to export or import some existing data or blog collections. And so because I would need more time to look into their current requirements, I would need those existing data before I come up with a proposal. So the proposal is where I share those strategy that I have in mind, more of a game plan of how I will achieve their business goals through the website features. And then that's when I'll come up as well with a 3-tier package, like the pricing, if they wish me to take on the implementation of that strategy, then yeah, that's what I present in the proposal.
I imagine clients are typically coming to you with the problem that they're looking to be solved. And I think the way that you walked through the discoverability, understanding the website problem, touching acuity and touching writing like content that surfaces in ChatGPT is so comprehensive. How often are clients coming to you knowing like exactly what they want versus are you sort of walking them through what is even possible?
All right. Yes. So most of the time they will come up with like just a certain problem in mind. So I always want to address the most pressing one. Like in the case of Aurora Wellness, their most pressing one is that they don't have qualified leads. They spend a lot of time in the back end answering unqualified questions. And so I first address that most pressing question. But then in this pitch and in every pitch that I make, I always include um, like features or something that I can highlight, which they did not anticipate, but I think will help them. So in this case, I broke it down into like attracting the right clients through discoverability or through SEO. Should we create educational content through a blog, which a Squarespace website can definitely help with?
And such a great surprise and delight moment with the Breathe with Aurora feature. I mean, that is why you're the queen of custom code. Was that something that you had already thought out, or how long did that take you to come up with?
Oh, it's quite easy. Like for every project that I take on, I always want to come up with something like that will make the site memorable. So a moment to surprise and delight the customers and make it like a, a feature that will make that will remind them of the site or the brand. And so I came up with this because it's all about being relaxed. And so those who have visited Aurora will reminisce their experience
Yeah.
From in Aurora Wellness through that app, and those who are just interested will like feel how like relaxing the experience is. So it's something just to create a moment of delight and play.
Oh, it was so fun. I could just see myself leaving a board meeting being like, well, yeah, I mean, but what about that Breathe with Aurora thing? That's really cool. I mean, it gets you talking, it gets you interested.
And I'll definitely share that in the site showcase.
I'm sure you will.
We're
I'm
excited
sure
to
you
see
will.
Oh,
it.
if I
know
get
you're
hired.
always about sharing. I know, right? Well, I know. Thank you very much for working on spec. I know that's not your normal thing, but we do have some good news. You're hired. Great.
Thank you.
I love.
Look at the relief. Wash
I
over
know,
her.
so such relief. Yeah, take a deep breath with Aurora.
Yes. There you go.
This is going to be such a cool site. I can't wait to see you build it. If I need to remind you again, audience, if you want to see Rache live building the Aurora Wellness website, you have to sign up for the Circle Day live stream. There's going to be so much on that live stream. In addition, there's going to be other online only content. So make sure you sign up for that so you can hang out with Rache as she built this site. Thanks, Rache, for your pitch. Thanks for joining us today on Circle Live again.
You're most welcome. It's my honor. Thank you.
See you very soon. Boy, our company has got some great websites coming. Our skydiving kids camp wellness retreat.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're really in the services business.
It feels so powerful to be pitched that much. I have to say, if you want to go out and get some pitches, it'll make you feel great about your life.
Yes, I feel really great about the direction of our company.
I feel great about it too. Next month, talking about directions, please join us again on Circle Live as we talk with Will Reynolds, the founder and CEO of Seer Interactive. He's going to be talking to us about how SEO is changing in the world of AI, and in some cases, it's staying the same. It was such a great conversation. We just taped it, actually. It's great.
Yes, it's phenomenal. You definitely have to tune in, especially if you want to know how to support your clients from a AI visibility standpoint. You cannot miss that conversation. And tomorrow, our friends at Contra will be announcing the winners of the Squarespace Make It Real Design Challenge live on their YouTube channel. To sign up to get the link, and we're going to share it now in the chat, but make sure that you tune in. There were some really fantastic sites that were submitted, and we look forward to sharing some of the best tomorrow.
I completely agree. Can't wait to see that announcement live streamed on Contra's YouTube. That's all for today's show. Thank you all for joining us with these pitches live. Thanks to all of our pitchers. Until next Circle Live, This is Sam Z,
And I'm Sarah S.
reminding you to make your footer a top priority.
Bye, everybody.